Okay, thanks. I'm back. Well, that really didn't take any time, and this is probably just a new video. Anywho, so we basically have been through all the things that you need to know from the outside functionally. And so I'm just going to walk over that very quickly again, and then we're going to start kind of laying out pieces. I'm not going to go through a full mission layout because that takes like 45 minutes or so. And it really, most of that is just fiddling around, in particular with the ships, because like the ship's waypoints rotation has to be set the right way, or it gets all spinny. Um, Also tanks. All the ground units take a while to set up. Anywho, we're just gonna walk through a couple of them. Like I'll set up a tank and whatever. So the first thing that you do is you decide like what kind of flights that you want to have. And I'm just gonna be arbitrary. Let's go like the intent is bombing Cambrai. Like it just wants to destroy Cambrai. And so we're probably gonna have it set up very much like it is. Cover, ground static, cover, ground transport. So it's attacking all the units. The only thing I might want to change is level bombing, but I don't. I'm not going to bother with a level bomber on this mission. Really just because that would be like configuration. Like I'd probably be switching to Handley Pages, and just not going to do it right now. So then the central side is fighter, vanguard, mobile attack, mobile attack. And I'm not totally down with that. I don't want two mobile attackers. One mobile attack, one vanguard, maybe one straight up attacker. No, I want two fighters. I just want them to be active and aggressive. And then they'll just have one. We picked the vanguard for their one bombing unit because the vanguard means that like you have one cover unit here now, which is these guys. And so this will almost certainly be like Alberstadt because like that's their only two. It's only central two-seater. Dear everyone that makes airplanes, central two-seaters, they're the best. Need lots of them. So Vanguard does covering friendly units and attacking like the dangerous ground units. So like that's going to go after the tanks and the artillery. So like it's totally what we want because these guys are just going to be they're doing like this is kind of the most generic layup. I'm sure I used this in a different one mission I put out. This is super generic. Attacks all the ground units and two coverers. Let's make him be a little bit more aggressive. We'll make C be something cooler, like a fighter or a mobile. We'll make C be a mobile attacker. Not gonna cover. That gives me one attack area over there. So then this is one of the more difficult parts of this mission, and like I want to do this differently, but you can't. Not in an easy way. Is that depending on what you set here, depends on how you kind of lay out the units. And so you'll kind of have to bounce between the units because like you have to remember what you have to basically remember is like what units am I attacking for this flight, and um, am I doing my area attack or not when you lay things out. And so what I like to do is I like to first set the planes at their airfields, but leave them at start in the air. So like as I said, when you import this mission the first time, just as we did in this, it always is start in the air. So like this is actually ready to go. And I would kind of recommend doing um, actually like letting it run right now because letting it run right now lets you pick a little bit more of what you want the mission to be. Even though like the ground units are ridiculously set up and there will be ships on the hill, you can still see like what units are attacking and like maybe you want to change that whole like fighter, vanguard, attacker, mobile attacker like setup. And you can think about that at this stage if you want to before you lay things out. But I actually like to place the airplanes at their airfields first, and I feel that makes it a little more realistic, more closer to the way the mission would be. But where are the airfields? One of the hardest questions in Rise of Flight mission editing is where are the airfields? Oh, the number of times I've asked that question. So this map is great. It comes with the game, and it's great that it's here. So I kind of want to do a really wide flight. That's another thing is you get to like think about how you want to lay this out. So like I could do like 1, 2, 3, 4 here and call that central, and 1, 2, 3, 4 and call that entente. And I think that's what I'm going to do. That's like these are really far away from each other, but it's also really narrow this way. Um, yeah, so I think that this is going to create an interesting flight because this is going to be different plays of it will really move along this. And maybe I'll actually want it to move along this river. So that's one of the things that's cool is you can think about since the mission is kind of like defined as like the area, the way that you shape that area depends on how the game actually plays out too. And so like if you have this really tight little central area like I did on that on the Conde Sermane mission, like it's not actually very variant. You know, like the fight often happens very close to over that city. I mean, it'll be out, but not further out than like the randomness happens in like a 4K circle. With this one, we might actually get this big long stretch of like different battles where like sometimes the whole mission just like heats up right here and everybody fights each other. Sometimes there'll be little skirmishes all along it. Sometimes it'll happen here, like that kind of thing. And that's what like I think you can really push that concept with the system and kind of what I think is the most fun part of it. So let's think about setting things up a little bit. So I'm going to just go ahead and do these in sequence. It's not really the way to think about it because like really you'd probably want to put your fighters here. Like you'd want to think about what your units are, but I'm going to be really lazy because this is for demonstration, not for reality. Well, I guess I could be good. We'll put the fighters up close. Cool. Yeah, we'll put the fighters here and the bombers here. So A will go right here by Epinoi, which is, I'm really bad at this, by the way. Epinoi is right up the road from Cambrai, which I lost. There's Douai. Cambrai is down this river. With all this chaos in here, you know? And this is absurd, I can't find the city. I know it's down that river, isn't it? Yes. There it is. Okay. That's why it's just hard to see. It's right there. So we're not going to forget that now. You know what? Okay. There's an airfield. We'll set the actual plane there. Now we can move B. I won't make you watch me go through all of this. Like, after I lay out a couple of these, I will just do it. It's by the river. Right there. And then C. We'll go to that one directly west of the city. And past the river. But that's it. Yep. Cool. Well, this is really boring, but I am sure that you get that it's not that complicated or difficult either. Up the river, around here somewhere. Right there. Cool. See, I'm getting better at finding the airport. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting mission. I like this. Okay. I don't know if I can pause this or not. I don't think that I can. This is probably really crappy software. Anywho, I'm gonna make you watch it. So I guess I can talk about while I'm doing this. I can talk about like what kind of setups are useful. So just south. I like to make the ground units have one be the aggressor. I've had more luck with that kind of concept, but I'm not really sold on it as being necessarily the best. Is it really that far down? It's there. Maybe I can only do one thing at once. Okay, I'll stop and start a new one.